I just trained an AI using my face, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. All right, so we're going to need about 20 high quality selfies. No, put down those bathroom selfies from 2012. Next, open that wallet and snag about $2 to $4. Don't worry, we can always affirm this. After that, just about 10 minutes of your precious time. And honestly, 90% of this is just watching that model getting massive gains training. And finally, a prompt that is going to take your model to the next level. Do we know each other? If so, it's great to see you. It's been way too long. You look amazing. If not, my name is Chris. I'm a principal software engineer, and in layman's terms, that just means I write random words and symbols on a screen in fancy colors. All right, so now for the real reason why you're here, to train your own AI model. So let's talk training data. You have a few choices here. You can either follow along and snag about 20 to 25 selfies, like some of my examples here. But we want to make sure to get all the nook and crannies of that beautiful face from different angles and loads of different emotions. Now, there's a ridiculous amount of routes we can go from here. From maybe your business products to save you thousands on photography costs. Or if you want to go full degen and just create a meme generator of your friends, that's your choice. I'm not condoning it. Just to recap, we need 20 to 25 high quality images. And of course, in this scenario, more is better. So maybe if you want to do 100 and be an overachiever, you will get better results. And remember the golden rule of AI model training. Better input is going to equal better output. We have a few more steps to prep our training data. Now go ahead and head over to your image file. We're going to select all the files, right click, and hit rename. Now we're going to need some sort of unique identifier here. I'll naturally go with Chrissy Poo, but name yours whatever you want to. Don't worry, this will be relevant later. And lastly, collapse the folder, right click, and hit compress. And we're going to compress this folder down into a nice zip file. That's it. Our data is prepped, so let's head over to replicate.com. Now, the first thing you need to do is either log in or create a new account. Once you have that done, let's head over to account settings, billing, and you're going to click on manage billing here. Now, this is where you're going to drop in that alimony check, EBT card. Now, don't worry, this model is only going to cost about $2 to $4 to train. Awesome. Now that you have your life signed away, let's go ahead and head over to Explore. Hit that search box and let's go ahead and type in Ostrus Flux. And we're going to select the Ostrus Flux Dev LoRA Trainer. Dang, that is a mouthful. So what are we looking at? Well, this is going to be the model's gym for the next 10 minutes, getting super swole on all those gorgeous selfies from earlier. First thing we need to do, scroll down and go ahead and create a new model. I'm going to stay on theme and go ahead and go with Chrissy Poo. I'm going to go with private since this is training on my face. Next, let's snag that itty bitty compressed zip folder with all that training data and drop it right here. Remember that fancy schmancy unique identifier from earlier that we named all those files? Now it's time to shine. So mine was Chrissy Poo. Go ahead and enter whatever yours was in here. Honestly, the rest of these settings, you can just leave at default. But if you are trying to be a big baller, you can up the number of steps for this training. Now, this will give you more of a fine-tuned model, but this will cost more since it does take more GPUs to train the model. All right, so the last thing we need to do now is just press that button. Oh, I guess we have an error. Enter a valid name, only lowercase, and dashes on it. Oh, so I guess it doesn't like me screaming at it, so I guess we'll go lowercase. And you know what, we'll just take out the underscore just in case. All right, sorry for not having this big climactic moment anymore, but here we go again. Create the training, press the button, bam, and there we go. We're starting the training. Now, like I said, this is going to take about 10 minutes. So instead of everyone just sitting here staring at me, staring at this, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And we're back. Don't you just love the smell of a freshly trained model? So I get it. You're like, Chris, what do we do here? I've got some gibberish on my screen and different colors. I've got a few buttons. Well, if you are classically trained in the mystic arts of software engineering, you can actually use Replicate's SDK and plug it into your VC-funded application using either Python or JavaScript, and I think you can do some REST API, REST HTTP calls. But for the scope of this video, we're just going to press Run Train Model. All right, people, this is not a drill. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been training for. Now it's time to get to the nitty gritty. We have a prompt text field box here that's required and a shiny new run button. Now we can go ahead and manually type in this prompt like a noob, or hear me out, or we can be lazy and we can head over to ChatGPT. So here is the cream of the crop. A magical prompt that's going to up your image generation game. Now, I have to give shout outs because I am clearly not smart enough to come up with this myself. This is a combination of a prompt provided by the AI Advantage. I highly recommend him. He's got a ton of amazing content. Definitely go check out his YouTube channel. And in combination with this, Dan Mesler's Fabric AI community. Also another amazing GitHub repo filled with vetted prompts. I'll link both of these below. Definitely check out that GitHub and also the AI Advantage whenever you get a chance. So back to the prompt. Now you want to make sure that you insert your trigger word in all the places I have in here that says Chrissy Poo, but also when I copy it down below, I'll just have a little bracket there that'll say insert your trigger word here. Make it a little bit easier for everyone. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and see what we get back. Perfect. So dynamic portrait of Chrissy Poo, which is our trigger word, in a hyper realistic movie scene. This is exactly what we wanted. So we'll go ahead and copy this, go back over to Replicate, and we're going to paste it right in here. Now we want to go ahead and double check and make sure our trigger word here is actually within our prompt, because our model is going to lean into all of our training data and find that trigger word to match up what we exactly want. Now I'm just going to make a few adjustments here. Since with anything with AI, sometimes you get really good output, sometimes you get really good outputs. We're going to just go ahead and bump up the number of outputs here to 4, just so we can get a little bit of variety. And honestly, I think that's about it. There are a few more advanced settings here you can set, but that's a little bit out of the scope of this video. Generating an image is just going to cost a few pennies. So let's get after it. So as you can see, the model is already starting to generate these images for us. All right, so here we go. Not too bad on the first one. Getting a little bit closer on the second one, you can see that it really did actually capture my face. It's a little bit low lighting. Okay, so this one's actually pretty freaking solid. And you can actually see, which is interesting, the background, that's one of my pictures behind me. So it does include the background. So anytime you're training any of this data, it does also include the background in there. Yeah, this is super impressive. I'm happy with this one. Let's go ahead and try another run. All right, so these ones aren't too shabby either. You know, I think it has me a little bit chunkier than what I have. I have been going to the gym, so we'll let this one slide a little bit. And there we have it. Now get out there, make all the wild images you want, and show me in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.